Africa, rich in natural resources and with over 1 billion people. The world is keenly watching as Africa continues to make great strides forward. In June 2013, the 5th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD V, was held in Yokohama, co-organized by the Government of Japan, the UN, the UNDP, the African Union Commission, and the World Bank, with the basic concept of hand in hand with a more dynamic Africa. TICAD V turned out to be the largest international conference ever hosted by Japan, surpassing the scale of the previous conference. The latest event brought together a total of at least 4,500 participants. Among them were representatives of 51 African countries, 31 development partner countries and Asian countries, including 39 heads of state and government, representatives of 72 international and regional organizations, representatives of private sector and civil society, such as non-governmental organizations. The three themes of TICAD V were robust and sustainable economy, inclusive and resilient society, and peace and stability. 6 priority areas were agreed upon in the Yokohama Declaration 2013, the document adopted at TICAD V. First, promoting private sector-led growth. Second, accelerating infrastructure development. Third, empowering farmers as mainstream economic actors. Fourth, promoting sustainable and resilient growth. Fifth, creating an inclusive society for growth. Sixth, consolidating peace, stability, and good governance. Prime Minister Abe announced that over the next 5 years, Japan will support African growth through public and private sources worth approximately $32 billion, including approximately $14 billion of ODA and around $16 billion from other public and private resources. Under this package, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, will implement the Yokohama Action Plan 2013 to 2017. During TICAD V, JICA conducted meetings with 74 key representatives, including 27 heads of state. JICA hosted 19 seminars and panel discussions under the theme of Inclusive and Dynamic Development in Africa. At one of these seminars, Empowering Young Africans to Live Their Dreams, the panel included the presidents from Gabon, South Africa, and Tanzania, 2 CEOs from the World Bank and the African Development Bank, and JICA President Dr. Akihiko Tanaka, who actively discussed the issue of youth employment and how to channel the power of young Africans to economic growth and development.
We have to be, as we say, confident. It is our time, and I know that we will get there. We have a skilled, force, workforce. We have intelligent people, and with confidence, we have the resources, and the time is now. It's just that, it's a matter of will.
The challenges of youth development confront all of us on the continent, and it requires a collective effort of all of us. The outcomes of this summit need to pay special attention to issues of youth development. We should place skills development at the center of our strategy.
Economists say if an economy can grow at 7% for 10 years, that economy doubles. And therefore, more jobs will be created. So if we can continue to grow our economies and make sure that we create a conducive environment for investments to flow, train our youth to be able to be employable in the job market, also to employ themselves.
JICA is also conducting various technical cooperation activities. And to promote technical cooperation activities, I think the current proposal has given us very useful guidelines. And the guideline particularly about the methodology of selecting projects and then doing things.
Let us now turn our attention to JICA's activities to realize the Yokohama Action Plan 2013 to 2017, as well as the 3 themes of TICAD V. Infrastructure development is an essential element of robust and sustainable economic growth. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe announced Japan will provide approximately $6.5 billion for infrastructure development over the next 5 years. JICA has been supporting various infrastructure development projects all over Africa, such as transport, electricity, and water supply. JICA will continue to support African efforts of further infrastructure developments to bring real benefits to the people of Africa. The Japanese government has also announced support for development of the 5 major growth corridors. JICA supports the development of region-wide infrastructure such as corridors, ports, power generation, and other types of infrastructure. JICA also supports African efforts of inducing synergetic effects of infrastructure and industrial development. Furthermore, to enhance benefits of corridor developments to all the people, JICA also supports agriculture and education. JICA implements comprehensive corridor development to further improve areas and the lives of people around the corridor. Also, at TICAD V, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe announced support for formulating 10 strategic master plans for countries including Kenya and Mozambique, which are strategic regional development master plans to be implemented over the medium to long term. JICA is developing these master plans in conjunction with corridor developments. In recent years, Africa achieved remarkable progress, but to sustain its growth, Africa needs industrial development through capacity building rather than relying on natural resources. At TICAD V, the Japanese government announced the building of TICAD Human Resource Development Centers for business and industry at 10 locations, and the providing of human resource development assistance for business and industry to more than 30,000 people across 25 countries. It also announced the launch of the African Business Education Initiative for the Youth, or Abe Initiative, inviting 1,000 people to Japan. To achieve this goal, JICA will cooperate with local African businesses and Japanese companies and focus our efforts on human resource development for the youth of Africa. Agriculture, health, and the environment are also high priority sectors in the Yokohama Declaration, and targets for each sector are shown in the action plan. JICA has been promoting the Smallholder Horticulture Empowerment Project, known as SHEP approach, in Kenya. The Japanese government announced expansion of the SHEP approach in 10 countries to develop market-oriented agriculture, to build capacity of 1,000 skilled agricultural trainers, and to organize smallholder cooperatives consisting of 50,000 farms. The Japanese government will continue to support CARD, Coalition for African Rice Development, announced at TICAD IV to increase annual rice production in Africa to 28 million tons by 2018. In the health sector, the Japanese government announced promoting universal health coverage and strengthening support for improving nutritional status. This is a key issue to ensure human security, whereby all people have equal opportunity to receive basic healthcare services. JICA strides forward with the people of Africa to realize universal health coverage. While the demand for power in Africa increases rapidly with economic growth, promoting the use of renewable energy to reduce the burden on the environment is essential. At TICAD V, the Japanese government announced financial support of approximately $2 billion for supplying low-carbon energy and more efficient energy use. JICA will apply our experiences gained in places like Olkaria Geothermal Power Plant in Kenya and actively engage in the promotion and expansion of low-carbon power sources aimed at making energy use more efficient. With respect to the third theme of TICAD V, peace and stability, the Japanese government contributes to the regional stability in the Sahel region through approximately $1 billion in development and humanitarian assistance, and announced also that it would support measures to establish and ensure human security in Somalia. JICA will continue to support strategic revitalization efforts through the synergistic effect of short-term humanitarian assistance and medium to long-term development needs. Since the first TICAD was held 20 years ago in 1993, Africa has made remarkable progress and still holds enormous potential.
We are quite keen on growth that is pro-poor and growth that is pro-employment. Because growth that is not pro-poor is empty, and growth that is not pro-employment is futile.
JICA has been our partner, a big partner, all along. And on that base, they've been contributing for the development of Mozambique.
Il est vrai que lorsque vous avez un kaléidoscope de 54 États, il peut arriver que sur 2 ou 3 qu'il y ait des choses à dire, mais globalement, nous sommes dans une tendance positive de démocratisation, de stabilisation et surtout de croissance.
It's not about getting there after tomorrow, it's about doing it now to make sure that we will get there tomorrow. Thank you.
JICA has actively contributed to the TICAD process, and we will continue our efforts to achieve the goal of TICAD V. While respecting Africa's ownership, JICA is strongly committed to supporting the efforts of African people to achieve their inclusive and dynamic development.